Hi, my name is Jaden Yang,
And I'm Tristan Echezarreta.
and we present you the stock Rigetti.
We are recommending a short on Rigetti Computing, which is a quantum computing stock listed on the NASDAQ exchange currently. And we will delve into why we think this company is a short as we go along. So we have President and CEO Subho Kulkarni, Chief Technological Officer David Rivas, Chief Financial Officer Jeffrey Brostein, and Chairman of the Board Thomas J. Iannotti, right? So these are kind of our leaders of the company right now. Just to go over quickly the ownership, most of the company is owned by the general public, around 75%. Institutions own around 22%, individual insiders 1%, private companies less than 1% right now.
This is Rigetti's business description. Their mission is to build the world's most powerful computer to help solve humanity's most important and pressing problems. That is their motto. Their product and service, two components. This is what they're aiming for. This has not actually come out, as they have not attained any profits as of now. So they offer a service of cloud-based quantum computing, which they call Forest, and they also offer a product called quantum processors. What they're trying to target is enterprises, people who are in the field of quantum computing, researchers and developers. It was founded in 2013 by Chad Rigetti, and the IPO date when it was released, when it went public, was March 2nd, 2022 via SPAC. And SPACs, they are like historically resulted in like volatility and underperformance compared to traditional IPOs. Let's move on. So they have 140 full-time employees, and their headquarters are based in Berkeley, California.
All right, let's go through our thesis. This is why we short. We short because the company is very overvalued right now. Very limited use cases in the real world. Other than we will talk about this more, but really the only use cases right now is government contracts and decryption. And we don't think the company deserves this valuation given that it has no real use cases. The company faces intense competition from companies like Google, IBM, Microsoft. All of these companies are investing into the quantum sector as well. They have way more resources for research and development, and they can also get a lot more talent in terms of quantum physicists and developers and things of that nature. So they have the upper hand there almost all the time, and it's very hard to compete from a startup like Rigetti. And then also, quantum sector is very volatile. We could not see a breakthrough. It could get very dry. There could be a winter. Nothing really happens. And in that case, we see the stock plummeting to unprecedented levels. And yeah, that is basically our thesis as of right now.
Rigetti is a very relatively new player in the quantum computing industry, as it just went public in 2022. So it will definitely face a lot of challenge rapidly scaling the brand comparing to the industry giants like IBM, Google, and Microsoft. Quantum computing is also a very niche business model. We've heard of quantum computing like recently due to its massive surge in like the whole entire industry. But you may think the industry is huge, but it's still a very small and emerging market, and it's still in its early stages. So it'll be hard to know if the establishment of this industry can be certain in the future. Quantum computing is a very capital intensive field, so it needs massive pools of investment of funds of capital. And to acquire these capital, Rigetti relies on government contracts. And the difficulty of securing these funding is just very unstable and can pose a lot of threats in the future.
Quantum advantage is basically when they build a very supercomputer quantum computer, right? Quantum computer that has a lot of real world use cases that can solve hundreds of problems super fast, super efficient. They still have not really come close to achieving this, so we don't think they will. But that is their goal, right? Most of the goal in the quantum industry is to reach quantum advantage. Now, investment and market landscape. Investors are generally optimistic about this technology, and I agree. It is correct to be optimistic about this technology. It is a very interesting and very promising field, but it will at least take, in our opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, at least 15 to 30 years for this quantum technology to become really applicable in real world use cases. And until then, we don't think these companies are really worth anything. They're currently overvalued, right? So in the next five to 10 years, really no real world use cases for quantum, and we think the market is very optimistic in the short term when they really should not be. So financial analysis. As we previously talked about, Rigetti right now is burning through a lot of cash, right? So as we can see, the company reported a net loss of $200.99 million, 167% increase from 2023. They reported this in 2024. So this shows they're investing and they're investing in their research and development quite a bit. They want to break through. They want to reach quantum advantage, right? And they haven't, and we don't think they ever will, right? We think that this company is just not worth it. They really are nothing of value. So a lot of money invested into this research and development, right? Revenues are declining, and it really their only revenue is or their only money really coming in is through government contracts, the NSA. Um, Now it should be noted that this cash burning, it's not uncommon for a startup like Rigetti. A lot of tech startups, especially scientific computing startups like this, they burn through a lot of cash because they want to break through. They want to create better and better technology that can actually be sold. Yeah, a normal DCF model will not really work in this case because the company is really just losing money at this point. We used kind of a best case scenario DCF model, and we're just gonna assume best case scenario Rigetti gets half. We're also gonna assume that margins grow 70 to 75%, revenue grows year over year right here. We're just gonna assume this best case scenario because we want to be really sure about this. We plug all this in, right? We assume all this best case scenario statistics, which leaves us at $4.28 a share. So that's really what we got our price target from. Very dynamic, of course. So we rounded to 4.30, and yeah, we talk about this more in our report, but it's just a taste of what our valuation brings to the table.
Investor optimism is when an investor holds very high hopes, very high standards for this industry, and it believes it will revolutionize the world. So if we take Rigetti as a theoretical example, if investors come and decide that the quantum computing industry is going to blow up, they will invest more into Rigetti. This will actually kind of, with the hype-driven investors, it will build somewhat of a self-reinforcing cycle where the more attracted investors will boost the R&D spending, produce more results, attract even more investors, and it will prolong the cycle until a breakthrough is achieved. Let's move on to our next example, the power of quantum tech. So we know huge risks come with huge rewards. Quantum computing, a very high capital intensive field, and the result will revolutionize billions of dollars, if not trillions, across different industries. Rigetti received a 20 in ESG considerations. This is considered very low, and compared to the competitors in the sector, is not average. How has Rigetti impacted the environment? Rigetti uses renewable energy, and they also reuse their material in their hardware production. For society, they had a partnership with Calbridge that allowed a 10-week internship program that inspired many young men to work in the quantum computing field. It also includes that 40% of its workforce was comprised of underrepresented minorities, which was an increase from 2022. For corporate governance, Rigetti enforces the code of conduct that outlines the standards and responsibilities that all employees must uphold.
So since Rigetti has a lot of computing power and AI needs a lot of computing power, we could see Rigetti try to push itself into the AI sector. But we could see that, and if they do succeed, that could be a very profitable venture for them. Additionally, we could see some companies. So as we saw when AI came into the mainstream, one would say, we saw that a lot of companies such as Gemini, Microsoft, Apple AI, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini, they needed the investors wanted to hear AI. They want to hear AI because it's a new thing, it's an innovation. So they put out all these large language models and they put them out. And if quantum gets to the level of AI, and we see that investors want to hear more quantum stuff, quantum this, quantum that, we could see Rigetti benefit from that as an infrastructure firm right here. So they could assist these larger companies introducing AI into their systems. Now, obviously, for this to happen, quantum has to increase in use cases, and Rigetti has to have a breakthrough so that they can actually create infrastructure, and this can be a useful product. But we could see that could be like a wave after AI, and that could be the effect of AI right there. Some cons. So as previously mentioned, some AI infrastructure giants, big players like NVIDIA, Google Cloud, AWS. Now this can make it hard for Rigetti to get into AI infrastructure because they're very well-established companies and programs that can make it hard for Rigetti to break through. So yeah. Also, AI algorithms growing basically at a weekly rate these days. So we see a new AI thing every week. What we could see AI, in a sense, surpassing quantum in the level of computing. Now, this is kind of a race. Which sector can grow faster? Which sector can create innovation and do it faster and in a timely manner? But we could always see AI catching up with quantum in terms of decryption and things of that nature. And well, that would obviously make Rigetti and IonQ and all these quantum giants obsolete if AI can break through into the sector faster than them and better than them. And yeah.